Welcome back to another episode of Cape Ann Today. Today, we are introducing the Gloucester 400 Plus Committee. These are the people creating and shaping the commemoration. We are missing one member of the Gloucester 400 Plus Committee, Isabel Pett, but we hope to talk to her soon, specifically about the committee's relationship with the Native American Creative Agency consulting on this year's events. Hi, everyone. How are you?
Hi, Heather.
Heather?
Well, very well, Heather. Thank you.
Thank you. So let's introduce you. We'll go around the Zoom stage and have each of you state your name, your role on the committee, and tell us your personal goals for the commemoration. Elsje, I want to start with you.
Thanks, Heather. And we're so appreciative of you inviting us to your stage, if you will. So my name is Elsje Zwart, and I was invited to be the executive director last summer. And I took over from the departure of our now executive director emerita, Laura Ventimiglia. And she had left in the spring, although she continues to support and encourage us. But I jumped at the chance to take on this role, and I jumped at the chance because I thought, yes, I have skills that I can lend to this organization. I know how to build organizations, all of the infrastructure that's required to really allow people to do their work effectively. And the work itself is, really rather amazing in terms of trying to shine the spotlight on Gloucester, pretty incredible, and inviting as many people as possible to join us. And so I think trying to support the volunteer tri-chairs that you see on the bottom of the screen was a goal of mine, as well as the rest of the contracted staff who are providing the specialized skills that they each have to this whole enterprise. And that's what's been so fun about this, because everyone brings a specific skill set and everyone has something unique to share. And it's been just a delight to support and encourage and see the organization flourish. And now that we're actually in the year, to see Gloucester citizens respond to us with such enthusiasm. And, we're reaching out to foundations and our civic leaders and individuals, and we've never had anybody say no. Everyone's been so encouraging. And so my goal really is to make sure that we reach every single person in Gloucester, that they feel welcome, that we invite them, and that we even go beyond Gloucester's walls to an international stage. And that's really what my goal is.
So tell me one thing that you are really looking forward to this year.
I think I'm looking forward to the Indigenous Film Festival, and that's not until August. And I'm really looking forward to it because of our work with smoke signals. You had alluded to them earlier. And we don't have an Indigenous voice on our committee. And that's why we've engaged with this Indigenous group. And I'm just so excited because we really are what I believe the first 400 celebration that is really focusing on that part of the history. It wasn't pretty for everyone in 1623, and we want to acknowledge that, respect it, and build on that as well. So that's one of the things that really excites me. Besides, I love films. So there we are.
Great. Okay, Bob, you're next. Bob Gillis.
Okay. Well, Heather, I'll tell you that a few years ago, 4 or 5 now, Ruthie probably knows better than I do, but I was asked to be the chair of the 400th committee. And at the time I said, I declined. I was the president of Cape Ann Savings Bank. I had a busy, important job, and I just didn't feel as though I could devote what needed to be devoted to that job. So I declined. And people came back to me and offered, to have me pair up with, not pair up, but join with 2 other potential tri-chairs and would I do it with that? And I said, well, it depends on who the two other tri-chairs are. And when they told me Ruth Pino and Bruce Tobey, I said, okay, sign me up. That was a clincher right there. So as a result, we've worked really well together. We've all had our disagreements, but that's the beauty of having three tri-chairs. Sometimes there'll be a 2-to-1 vote for something, and one of us gets outvoted, and it's happened to all of us. And but all in all, it's worked very well. I'm really happy with our success so far this year, and I consider our role primarily as we are decision makers, but also lending support to the extent that we can has been tremendously important. And it's been a fun ride. We've accomplished a lot. There's been terrific success, and importantly, I think Elsje alluded to it. We're trying to make this as inclusive for everybody as we possibly can. A fun, exciting, commemorative, educational year, inclusive for everybody. And just to give you an example, the overture let's just start New Year's Eve at City Hall. That was a free event. Kids had a blast, face painting, O'Malley School Band playing, just a total blast. A ball drop off a crane in City Hall parking lot. Free, fun for everybody. It was great. Then the overture on the 15th of January was a total success, and has resulted in some significant contributions to our cause. Again, a free event, a wonderful free event that will be remembered for a long time by everybody involved. And then most recently, we had the alumni hockey game, the Bruins alumni hockey game at O'Malley Rink, which again was a knockout success. We filled the rink up. We charged $10 a ticket, which the idea again was to make it accessible to as many people as possible, affordable. And then we took 200 tickets right off the top and gave those away to the Open Door, Pathways, Wellspring, the Community Impact Unit of the police, and the Gloucester Housing Authority. We gave those tickets away to make available to families that couldn't afford to pay even the $10. So it's important to us to make all of our events as inclusive as possible.
Great. And what are you looking forward to? One event you're looking forward to this year, or one thing?
When Elsje mentioned that, I said, I can't really, put my hat on one event. I just, I'm looking forward to all of them. I really am. And
totally fair. Fair. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much. Okay, Bruce Tobey, you're next. And I'm sorry, I'm just sort of following the curve of the Zoom screen. So
very nice. Very nice. Thank you, Heather. So actually, we all wear a couple of hats. In my case, I'm a tri-chair. I'm also president of the nonprofit corporation that provides the umbrella under which we operate, Gloucester Celebrations Corporation, with Bob being vice president, Ruth being clerk. And I guess the other thing I'm trying to be is sort of a voice of having been there once already, which was the 375th event we did back in 1998 during my time as mayor. My goal for this year is much the same as it was 25 years ago, which was to give Gloucester cause to realize a couple of things. One, the need for strong civic pride because we got something special going on here. But secondly, because we've got a bright future and we can use events like this to leverage that future from the sharing of expense and experiences and dialogue that already has begun to happen. The GMGI presentation at the Overture was just a fabulous way of kicking the door open for what our next 100 years might look like. It's not all looking back in the rearview mirror, it's looking ahead too. To that end, the event I'm most looking forward to as we talk today is the opening of the Hopper, Edward Hopper exhibit that's going to be occurring thanks to the good work of our partner in all this, the Cape Ann Museum. They've so stepped up this year. And again, through that, we can kind of do what we did back in 1998 with the sculpture show, which was an effort of that committee that year. It was a monumental effort. So I know how hard Oliver Barker and his team are working over at the Cape Ann Museum now. Reflect on the work that's been done by artists in the past. In this year's case, Hopper's reflections on the homes and settings of Gloucester, and use that as a reason to reflect. That's pretty cool. I want people to think, where do we go from here?
Nice, really nice. So you're looking forward to the Hopper exhibit, and I'm going to ask one tricky question of you, and maybe all the committee. What was one vote that the three of you had that was totally unanimous?
Well, most of them are.
I agree.
Most of them are. You know,
right.
there've been a few that you know, we've had disagreements, which it's going to happen in a committee, but we respectfully yield to the majority, and that's only been in a few instances. Really, we work really well together, and I'm proud of my association with Ruth and Bruce in this endeavor.
Yeah, I was just looking for like one.
I would hope Ruth would say yes and agree and make this one unanimous.
Okay, Ruth.
Oh, Heather, I was just going to say that we meet weekly, myself and the tri-chairs, and it's a really wonderful way for us to keep abreast of what's going on, and then to bring whatever decisions need to be made, and to do it together.
Yeah.
So it's a good process.
Nice, nice. I wasn't trying to, you know, get into anything sort of.
Trying to stir the pot, Heather.
You tried.
No, it's like, what do you love? What do you all love? That's what I was looking for. So Ruth, let's hear from you. Ruth Pino.
So I remember that morning clearly, like it was yesterday, when my phone rang and it was Bruce Tobey. And
Have that effect.
and he just talked for a little bit and asked me if I was interested in becoming a tri-chair. And at first I worried that the time it would take, because there's no doubt that we spend a significant amount of time, the three of us, and have been doing so continuously through the pandemic, boots on the ground, connecting ourselves to people that we knew could help us in one way or another. And I'm so proud that I said yes. And at the time, I was the president of the Cape Ann Community Foundation, which I still am now. Do you all have a Cape Ann license plate? And I was on the Gloucester EDIC at the time, but I've since left that. And I was on the Gloucester Affordable Housing Trust, which I still am a member of. And so those were things I was doing outside of my work life. And my work life is 7 days a week, 10 hours a day sometimes. And I just wanted to be sure in my own mind that I was doing the right thing about the 400, for the 400, and for myself. And I have no regrets about saying yes. I'm so proud of the work we've done, and I continue to do. And what's amazing to me as we sit here and speak to each other this morning, we're in it. It's here. We spent almost 5 years talking about it and planning it and raising awareness and putting the right people in place and making difficult decisions and good decisions and getting us to this place. And we've had 3 events that the Alumni Bruins game, I'm still up here about. It was 1,300 people in Talbot Rink. It was just an amazing event. And it was just astonishing to me. And it was a group of people dedicated to athletics who made that happen. And if you ask me what's the one thing I'm looking forward to all of it. But one of my expressions from the get-go was I wanted this to be a 365-day event. And I think that with the work of the people on the committees, for example, the cemetery committee, they've been from the get-go doing what we asked them to do, making a plan. And they have a plan, and it's in place, and it's on our schedule on our website, cemetery tours with guides and telling stories. It's going to be amazing.
That is a brilliant idea. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
It is. It is.
Okay, but one thing I really want to happen, and athletics committee is considering it, is an alumni Little League game.
Hmm. That
So
would be so much
I'm
fun.
rooting for that. I sure hope it happens. That's what I'm looking forward to.
All right, all right. Well, anything anyone wants to add to this conversation while we're here and we have a few minutes?
Pay attention.
Prompted to say, and by way of follow-up to Ruth's Little League idea, one of the things I'd love to see happen, and this just proves I'm a troglodyte from ancient times. I'd love to see an ROTC reunion. It's amazing how that element of the community is still present, but now voluntary, shapes so many lives.
This is a program in the high school?
It was.
Correct.
Starts in the high school, yeah, yeah.
Well, it's there now. It's there now also.
It's still in the high school, is that what you said, Ruth?
Well,
Yes.
yes, it's very different than how we went to school. When
Oh,
we were at Gloucester High School, it was mandatory. And it was, they had field day in June and they marched in every parade and yeah.
Competitions, there was the officers' party, the sergeant's party. I mean, I wound up in the Coast Guard years later. And if nothing else, I knew how to turn left face and right face. So, but a lot of folks, sprang off to military colleges, military careers, did great things. I'll probably be nagging on that one, guys.
yeah, I like that one. I've heard a lot about that program. It seems like it's been really significant in Gloucester. So what should we leave people with? How about where can they learn about the events and where could they get involved? If there's a means for them to, or reason for them to get involved, where can people get more information?
I will say that the best place is our website, gloucesterma400.org. And there's a list of events throughout the year that are listed and more are being added all the time. And confirmation dates are being added to because we know what the plan is for spring, summer, fall, but we're still drilling down to specific dates. So I would say pay attention to our website, but also we have a very active social media presence on Instagram and Facebook. And I would make sure you like our page, Gloucester 400 on Facebook. There's a lot of information on there and marketing about events, partner events, as Bruce talked about the KP Museum. We have a slew of partners who are partnering with us to commemorate the 400 through their own events. KPM Fins is a perfect example.
Oh, I love that.
And the newspaper, we have David Lico, Jack Clark, and one other that I can't think of right now.
Carolyn Stewart.
Carl Guston.
Carl
Guston, yep,
Guston, who's
that's
writing
right.
columns constantly for the Gloucester Daily Times. And the Gloucester Daily Times is an active newspaper.
Mhm.
People either get it at the door, online, or just go and read specific articles. They have a social media presence, so they're doing a really good job at supporting us.
One of the things following up on writing that I'd want to emphasize, and you'll see it immediately all over our website as soon as you hit it, is the 400 Stories Project. It's a micro way for each person in the community to jump in, weigh in with his or her reflections on an important event in the life of the city, an important life in the course of the city's ongoing experience, and an important deadline. March 17th is the deadline for submittals. So there are immediate things people can do, and that's a great example contributing to what will be an important legacy that we'll leave behind from this 400th anniversary commemoration year, the 400 Stories Project.
And those stories are on your site now, and they are so wonderful. I spent probably 2 hours wandering through them. It's such a beautiful fabric of voices and unusual stories, surprising stories, moving stories. It's really wonderful.
I'll just add, Heather, too, that our fundraising has been heartwarming, both from individuals, from businesses, throughout the city. We had a year-end appeal that blew us away. People just want to participate, and they're helping out financially. And all this is going to enable us to provide these events at either low cost or preferably free to the extent that we can. We want to make it as accessible as possible to as many people. And I'll also add that both the city and Mayor Verga have been excellent partners of ours. They've made a substantial commitment to the 400th that we're working on that with them on, and Ann Margaret Ferranti, our state representative, and Senator Bruce Tobey have been tremendous in securing grants for us. So we wouldn't have been able to do it without their support too. So we're very thankful for the support out there, and it's been our honor to try to put together a program of events in the Stories Project for everybody.
And we're blessed to have the people supporting the 400 in general with our staff. So Elsje, Isabel Pett, who's our events manager, Terry Weber, who's the Stories Project manager, wants to make this her life's work, and how she's engaged the student population in telling their stories. Am I missing anyone, Elsje?
You're missing Nicole Dahmer, our social media person, Dana Hartley, our admin specialist, Merlin Caswell McKee, our graphic designer. So we have a whole slew of people that are out there that we can call on that are deeply discounting their prices to us, which is amazing. And we also have, and this is something I did want to mention, that we have an army of volunteers. Again, if you go on the website and take a look, there's an opportunity. If you wish to be a volunteer, there's a form you can fill in. If you wish to be a partner, there's a form. So just contact us. There's a little box that you can tell us what it is that you would like, what you need. How can we best respond to you? So we're thrilled to do it.
Oh, wonderful. So thank you so much for coming this morning and sharing all this information. I think it's really great to hear from all of you, to see your faces, learn who you are, and learn how this is all coming together. But please come back. Come back to give us updates. Come back to tell us about new events coming up, to share more stories. Please come back.
Thank you very much, Heather.
And we know, Heather, that the other Cape has just become a partner with us as well. So thank you for that.
Yes, that's great.
That's awesome.
I love that. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Well, take care, and I will see you out there in the community.
You
You
bet.
bet. Thanks.
Thank you, Heather.
Thank you.
Yep,
Thank you.
bye-bye.
Interested in a sponsorship? Email sponsor@1623studios.org to learn more.